Hi, Thomas.
Hey.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
And we have a very special session just now. And for this, we are welcoming Mrs. Sahar Salama, CEO of Tpay Mobile. And we are also welcoming Mr. Rehman Rafiq, account manager at UDP. And we are welcoming as well Mr. Onur Ergüney, board member at Payguru. I mean, look at the look at the lineup.
I'm looking forward to it, and I think we have
this is just amazing.
This is gonna be quite an interesting one for one big reason.
Exactly.
Right?
And Sahar and Rahman and Onur have not only one, but two announcements that they would like to share with us today. And we're very happy that they have chosen, DGC to do that. And it's just amazing. So, who's going to blow the candle? Who's going to blow the candles?
All right.
Sahar.
So let me start. And Habib, thank you again for hosting us. And really excited to be here as usual, as always. And yes, it's true. Very excited to be with my colleagues on the panel because we have really exciting news for everybody in the region and for the global ecosystem coming into the region that in a way has made our dreams come true. And this is simply a huge effort that we've done with partnership with Unity, UDP. I will leave Rahman to talk more about it now. And the other big announcement that we've done is that Tpay also being really focusing more and more on availing markets and on getting deeper into the gaming sector industry. We just announced last week the acquisition of a big player in Turkey, Payguru, and Onur actually is a board member of the company, and he is very well connected to all of the ecosystem of the gaming industry for years and years in Turkey. Also, I will leave Onur to talk more about it. So these are very, very exciting news for Tpay, for the developers, basically simply because now we have a solution for combining our region and giving it in a package to developers within and from outside as well. Thank you very much for hosting us, Habib.
So this is the first news. What about the second news? Right? Because you talked about Payguru, but you didn't talk about Unity.
Yeah. So I can jump in here. Hi, thank you, Habib. It's an honor to be here, and it's very exciting that we are announcing this through this platform. Because incidentally, DGC was actually where we met with Sahar for the first time, and where the seats were so we are here again announcing the partnership and how we're moving forward. So just to give a little bit of background, Unity distribution portal, right? It's essentially a service for developers where we are seeking to reduce the engineering complexity, which is associated with publishing to multiple markets. We know there are opportunities for game developers all over the world, given there are local markets where you could monetize better working with local partners, or even go to the new and emerging markets, which are exciting for game developers, like Middle East being one of them. So through this partnership, we enable our Unity developers to essentially distribute their games through Tpay. Just to explain a bit further on that. Currently, if I'm a game developer, and if I need to publish to 7 different markets, I need to integrate the payment SDK for each and every one. I need to maintain a separate bill for everyone and then go and submit for each and every. So this does not scale for developers. So as a developer, I end up choosing 1 or 2 markets, and I cannot see the full potential of my game because I can't really go out and explore new markets. So with UDP, we are enabling developers to essentially distribute to all our partner stores through a single integration. So they integrate their game once. The payment SDKs are automatically integrated. They manage one bill and they manage one submission process all through our portal, whereas their game will be distributed to other partner channel stores that we have. But the exciting thing about Tpay is that the market, Middle East and Africa, which they are opening up for our developers, it has historically been an underserved market. It's a market where the dynamics are different from the global market, right? It has a huge underbanked population. We find operators are the main sort of distribution point when it comes to a lot of content, be it gaming content, be it video content, audio content. And again, monetization, given it's an underbanked market, monetization is where like it's the most important part for game developers. Yes, I'd love to have engaged users, but if I don't monetize them at the end of the day, it's a problem. And that's where Tpay comes in. They work with 50 plus operators in the region. They have an amazing coverage of all the region, and being a direct carrier billing, a payments company, right? They already work very closely with operators. So as a developer, like UDP helps me solve the technical part of it. How do I package and send my game to all these partner stores? But what Tpay brings to the table is now Tpay is going to work on behalf of these developers with 50 plus operators in the region, giving them the necessary exposure for distribution, but more importantly, monetizing them in the region, right? So for developers now through UDP, if you have audience in Middle East, and you are looking to monetize them better, or if you're even planning to do more in the region, you have a local partner in Tpay who can really help you get the maximum out of your content in these markets. And now with the addition of Payguru, right? So when we were talking to Sahar, like Payguru wasn't in picture. So it meant Turkey was a big part in this region where like we could not open up Turkey to our developers through this. Now, with the acquisition of Payguru by Tpay, Turkey is an exciting market for games, right? I mean, it has been one of the fastest growing market when it comes to downloads, when it comes to the increase in monetization in the market. And let's also, from a development point of view, right? We have seen the recent success by the Turkish company, like, Peak was acquired by Zynga for $1.8 billion recently, Gram Games. So for us and for global developers, it's a very, very exciting opportunity because these are markets where developer did not have a local partner to work with, but more importantly, technically speaking, it was very cumbersome and it needed a lot of additional resources to reach out to these markets. So now with UDP, along with our amazing partners at Tpay, like we hope and we are aiming to open these markets up for developers and help them make more money and find success in this region.
So it sounds like kind of this all helps developers by removing the kind of pain point of having to deal with these things so that they can concentrate on actually making better games, which is what they all want to do.
Exactly. And just to talk about and this is exactly our company mission as well, right? I mean, Unity as a company, we believe world is a better place with more content creators in it. So we want to reduce all the barriers, reduce all the complexities so that content creators can focus on what they do best, which is being creative and creating engaging content for the audiences. And Tpay, on the other hand, they help the developers by taking the complexity out with working with all these developers. They become your gateway to work with all these developers in this important region, where otherwise the alternates are not really there. The alternate is me working directly with 50 other operators. That means 50 contracts, all those settlements and everything. So operationally, technically, and from local support point of view, all those barriers and frictions are being taken care by this partnership of Unity Distribution Portal and Tpay. So yes.
So I guess why don't we swap over to kind of Payguru, and I guess kind of what has brought you. I guess kind of a little bit about your journey. Kind of how have you kind of gone from beginning to actually now kind of being a part of Tpay?
First of all, I would like to thank you for your kind invitation. Greetings from Turkey. I'm very much honored to be a part of this organization and the session. Well, these are exciting times for us, both the Unity project and also the acquisition of Tpay. Actually, Payguru is like 5 years old company on the paper, but we are very much experienced in the gaming sector and the payment industry coming nearly 10 years. And we position ourselves as the new generation payment company. This is very important, I think, because times are changing, generation is changing, especially Turkey's dynamics quite different. We have nearly 85 million people in Turkey and 48 million active gaming players, which is the half of the population nearly. So everybody is nearly touching the game sector in Turkey, and also from the unbanked users, we have a lot of unbanked users in Turkey. So that's why we position ourselves as a new generation payment system under the license. And we mainly provide two services in Turkey. One DCB, which we call direct carrier billing, and also bank transfer, wire transfer system through major banks in Turkey. And we are one of the companies getting the license in Turkey in terms of DCB, and we are very much proud of that in Turkey. We are the first company actually getting this license. And actually, our portfolio is mainly gaming industry, digital contents. Also, we are very much proud that we have real life applications, which means that we are a payment provider of public projects and mass projects in Turkey, especially for the transportation, for the football match entrances, and we have this kind of different business developments in Turkey. That's why we become very strong in 5 years in Turkey. So our journey was fun, but after from now on it will be much more fun because in Turkey, yes, we are strong. We came to the point we would like to open a new window because we are working with a lot of global publishers or content providers in Turkey. And at the end of the day, they are asking to keep that synergy and energy and to expand in different countries. At that time, Tpay was best solution for us because we know Tpay. Actually, we are in the same market and we do respect their services in the region. They are very strong. And we are very close to MENA as a cultural, as a geographical. We are very much closer. And a lot of actually global companies, gaming companies would like to take a step in Middle East region. It's quite big, lot of dynamics. So that's why we will be kind of face for Tpay for the gaming industry. We will exchange our technologies and our services, and hopefully we will provide a lot of different payment services in a lot of countries. That's why we're proud of this acquisition.
Perfect. It's really exciting, and I believe it's very clear. I mean, like you said, Thomas, and like Rehman said, and Sahar and Onur, we just created a facilitating platform that has a reach. Just how many countries are we talking about? I mean.
Yeah, so in Tpay currently we're talking about Middle East and Africa. We're talking about 23 countries and 53 operators that have alternative payment methods, whether combination of DCB or mobile money or bank, like direct transfer or direct bank deductions. So whatever we're doing only to unlock, in a way that unlock the region, Africa and the Middle East, that is very, very, very diversified, and it is not easy to really unlock this bulk geo without taking 10 years, or like at least 5 years per, So what our dream is, like, how to accelerate the go-to market for all of the international publishers into the region, but also, and most importantly, and this is what I'm proud of, is how to enable the industry from inside the region to really get its chance to grow, get visible, and eventually exported. And this was not feasible or possible because of the frictions and the complexities of the ecosystem and the challenges of the different countries. So having one cross-platform, this was our dream. UDP had really made the very first step to make it happen because it's just like very touch point with the developers. They decided to do this amazing platform which is global for everybody, accessible now for everybody from all over the world, where they can, go and use it without having to think or to invest or to, wait to try. So if I don't see it as immediate, even added value, I see it as a stage for all of the developers just to go and iterate and try and grow, and without any frictions or cost. And have that chance to get discovered, have that chance to export their potential games to across the region in Africa, across the region in Middle East, without worrying on how to make it happen, and get them the best of the alternative payment methods inside, on the local capabilities of inside those countries to make it happen. And this was our vision, and only it's starting to get to get happening because of our partnership with UDP and our go-to market in Africa, and we're very, very, very excited, looking forward to see how we can really onboard all of the ecosystem together.
May I add something, if you don't mind? I think there is a big opportunity, and this Unity collaboration and also the acquisition of Tpay and Payguru is at the heart of a lot of opportunities. The one, yes, we will be welcoming to global publishers for Turkey. We will be welcoming to Turkish local game developers for Middle East and also the Unity ecosystem. Because what we face as a partner of global publishers or local game developers, at some point, they lose their concentration on developing games rather than dealing with the payment partnerships. Because once you want to be global, you have to deal with a lot of payment channels and the payment partners. But in that project, I think, three of us, we will submit them a full of package that we will say that concentrate on your development, do your job. We will be on your site providing with best local payment options. So I think this is a very good thing for their operational workload, cost side and everything. So I think these are the opportunities. And also as a Turkey, we will be welcoming Middle East publishers to Turkey. So also the Turkish publishers to Middle East. So that was my contribution.
It's just amazing that, there's no more barriers, there's no more, the links are here, the bridge is here. You know that DGC is all about developers as well, and this year we offered a free entrance on the meeting platform to all developers, and in order to help them, be able to meet you and benefit also from any connections that might help them progress. So Rehman, today I'm a developer in Saudi Arabia or in Dubai or in Jordan or in Tunisia. I have an indie game, but maybe that indie game can be the next Minecraft. I don't know, So I just go on the UDP and...
Yeah, so I mean, the process is pretty straightforward, right? So as a developer, I have a game, I want to have maximum reach for it. I go to UDP portal, I integrate the UDP SDK with my game, and after that, I just set up my game description, right? Like what are the in-app purchases, what the game is all about, upload the screenshots once. And after that, I could literally go to 8 different markets. These are alternative app stores. If I'm looking, if my game is a genre which performs really well in Middle East and Africa, either it's a sports game or a racing game or anything I know it performs well, Tpay becomes a natural choice, right? So I just, when I'm submitting my game, it's about clicking the stores you are interested in. Then we do the heavy lifting on the back end. UDP as a service, the stores that you choose, right? Whether it is Tpay, it is Samsung Galaxy Store, or any of the other partner stores that we have, you just click the stores that you want to distribute to. Then our service repackages your build with all the relevant payment SDKs, so that I don't have to do 7 integrations. As a developer, I do not think I don't have to choose between going to 3 markets or 7 markets, because I don't have enough time to integrate all 7. So I just choose the stores and I press submit, right? And that's it. That's it. After that, then based on each and every store. One thing I would like to point out, that ideally our goal is to make it as seamless as possible. But since we are working across geographies, there are local regulations that we have to be mindful for. And this is where your partner comes in, right? So for Africa or Middle East, there might be certain requirements that Tpay might require from developers in terms of paperwork or something else, right? And so on and so forth. So that's where after that, you're technical as a developer, my work is done. It's more about getting and working with the Tpay team to understand, okay, can I get any other additional marketing support, or what are the markets you think I should focus on first? Because then our store partners will come in and work closely with developers to find the right go-to-market strategy for them based on their needs, right? If I'm a big publisher, I'm just looking to focus on Saudi Arabia. You can work with them to find the best way to go to market in that region. I'm a small, medium developer. I'm just looking to see how my game is going to be received across these regions. Is it a potential for my game so that I spend more, invest more in the region? You could still use UDP, right, to put your game out there and see what the response is. And the most important thing, this service is free to use for developers. Not any part of the service is billed or you have to pay for it, because I think that's the ultimate test. How do we find the next Flappy Bird? How do we find the next indie hit across these regions? Is by reducing all these barriers. There are no fees charged by Tpay. There are no fees charged by UDP from developers. Obviously, the revenue share and what the end market stores will do, that is same across the board. But other than that, for developers, if you are a developer looking to go to all these markets, there's no barrier. All you need to do is go to UDP, integrate your game, and then start submitting. And any questions, anything, we have an amazing support team. You can reach out to me. You can reach out to anyone in the UDP team, and we'll be more than happy to guide you.
It's so basically we can just go now to UDP and just say, all right. While they are watching you, I'm a developer and I'm part of DGC, and maybe I don't even need to meet with Rehman or Sahar. I just go to UDP and I publish my game, and then I start seeing how many downloads I'm doing, and I get the money after that, right?
Exactly, Habib, and actually this is a clear invitation that it's ready. You don't have to talk to us. You don't have to connect. You don't have to do anything. You have to go to the normal Unity platform where you develop your games. You will find everything here guiding you about how to do everything. And in the background, once you reach our touch points, we have amazing operation team between UDP and between Tpay to really help you through, guide you. And as Rehman has said, all of this onboarding process and question and answers and advice and helping is for free. It's for free, and all what we want to do is to get you to the point where your game is distributed, seen, published by the population. Very important point I want to say here that Tpay does is that whenever you want to try your game in Egypt, or whenever you want to try your game in Tanzania, or you want to try them in Nigeria, or you want to try them in Saudi or UAE, whatever is the trial, we created a platform, that is global. It is there, just like there is no barrier to even go and try, and it works or it doesn't work. It doesn't cost you anything. And this is one thing. And the other thing is, for Tpay, we give you access to 100% of the populations in this market. And this is huge. This is huge and very important for the testing, for the trial, for the investment, because most of the ecosystem of the gaming currently, in terms of monetization, never in any country had 100% accessible population for developers. Not a single payment method that is available currently in our region, I think even globally, can give access to every single pocket and consumer or gamer in the region. And this is exactly the exciting part. We built the access, 100% of population. We built the touch point was the most, let's say, strongest ecosystem of distribution in the emerging markets and in Africa, whether it is the mobile wallet processors or the operators. And we hooked with the most the strongest platform, global platform, well established, that really have all of the developers already going there, not asking them to do anything extra or do anything that they have to invest in or wait for to happen, which is UDP. So I mean, for me, it's just like this is a dream come true for the region in a way.
Well, so I was going to say, so we've made the announcement right now. Does that mean that as of this moment, current people who are on UDP will now start seeing Turkey, and also vice versa with Payguru's partners?
Yeah. So
yeah, please go ahead, Rahman.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, it is going to roll out in phases, right? And honestly, like, I mean, maybe this is something Sahar and we need to discuss on the timeline, because the Payguru things is just a recent development, right? But I can talk about, like, in terms of currently, Tpay has access to more than 50 operators. They already work with these operators in the region. As of today, we have around 7 which you can go ahead and submit on Tpay. But in the coming weeks, like, I know Tpay team has been adding more and more as they are finalizing, like, things from their end. So the idea again here is currently we have 7, and hopefully in the coming months we will see that number increasing to eventually 50 plus.
Seven. We have 7 markets, actually. 7 markets. I think, I don't know, in every market, all of the operators in those markets. As Rahman is saying, we are onboarding more. So our roadmap, hopefully, will have 6 launched within the next couple of weeks. Additionally, and hopefully between here till the end of the year, we will cover all of our markets, and we will finalize all of the 50 connections we have in the region. So 20 more markets will be accessible in the next 8 months or so between us and Unity. And just to be fair to the story, I mean, we are tuning as we go, understanding the developers' demands, how to make it frictionless more, how to answer their questions, how to automate things for them. So it is a continuous investment and development for the UDP platform, back to back with Tpay, and allocating more and more focus on really make a success story happen, whether it is for the small developers or whether it is for the big publishers of the region or globally that want to access this region through our channels.
Yeah, and one important addition, right? So you don't, as a developer, you don't have to wait for all the operators to come online. So if you go ahead and submit with the 7 markets, and then in the next 2 weeks we have another 6, you don't have to integrate the SDK again. You just need to go the game as is. You just need to choose the additional markets and submit to them, right? So as a developer, like, as new markets are being added, you don't really need to do anything extra if you already are publishing to these 7 markets. So the message to developers is, don't wait. Like, you can go onto the portal and start submitting.
Yeah, it's one-time integration. Very important to say. It's one-time integration for the very first 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever market that are available, and eventually they can add more without reintegrating, without adding code, without only the process of resubmission to those markets in a way or another. So this is as best as it can be to really grow your coverage, test one market, and then expand to the others without doing any extra effort or work from the development point of view.
Yeah. May I add something from Turkey side? As this project with the Unity collaboration, let me give you a real-time example for you, maybe for the developers, for that organization to better understand as a local example. So Habib, think about you're a game publisher, okay? So you want to open your services in Turkey, okay? And in Turkey, banking system are very much developed, and a lot of people in Turkey, a lot of people using bank transfer, okay? So for your game, you should open bank transfer system. You know what you should do without us? You have to open a legal entity in Turkey to open a bank account. There are 25 banks in Turkey. So you have to go each of them to bank, open a new account. So if you want to collect money from the banks, you have to have a group of people working operationally because it's a big process, every single integration with the bank. At least you will lose 1 year to do that. So what we provide, once you connect with us with a single API, you at the beginning you open 8 banks in Turkey. Once you open the door, you can collect money from the 8 banks directly. You don't need to do anything. That's the value with that. Yeah.
Actually, I just opened the website, and it says create once, publish everywhere.
Yeah.
Which is, it's just amazing. And of course, I mean, as you said, Onur, not only do you need to do that, you need to have a lawyer, you need to have an accountant, you need to have, a full structure. And this is to operate with one bank, but when you or one country or one service provider or one, now you can go across and I was just thinking about it. I mean, I'm just sitting here. I just say, okay, where am I going to publish my game today? So I just take it. I open China. I open Nigeria, and I click on Turkey, and I just press, and it's done. Right? That's
exactly. The same story. This was the example in Turkey, and let's talk about Africa. I mean, the full potential of Africa in terms of gamers as audience and in terms of developers as talent. It was very difficult because even within Africa, everybody wants to access, for example, Kenya or Nigeria or like in West Africa countries, and between them, even there is not a single way that you can do that unless you have local entity, unless you have investment even to connect to the most famous platforms. You have to be there in a way or another. M-Pesa, for example, as an example. So what we're trying to do for Africa as well is that we aggregated all of those local most important channels of monetization, same as the story of Turkey. This is very tough because of logistics, because of investments that you need to do, and because of multi-currency and cross-border, and you can imagine. So we package all of that for the developers. They don't have to worry about all of that. They only have to worry about the quality of the game, the creativity, and how to make more out of their talent, rather than worry about all of the barriers and investments and time and choices that they have to make before as gamers or as developers.
And let's say Rehman, I send my game on one of the platforms geographically, and I can check maybe after 1 week, 2 weeks, if it's doing well or not, and maybe remove it, and it's not costing me anything. It's not like I invested into the marketing and waited to be featured on the Google Store or the Apple Store, and then to see if it's performing or not. And if it's performing, I need to inject even more so that and we know how it usually works.
Yeah, absolutely, right? I mean, and more importantly, right? I mean, now if I'm a developer, like, why shouldn't I launch my game at the same time, like if I can, in like 6, 7 different markets instead of 2, right?
Yeah.
And two more important things, right? Why this is exciting. I feel like this is, again, it levels the playing field for the smaller to medium developers, right? It gives them a greater chance of success. Because if I'm a big developer, I have all those resources in terms of going to new markets and all of that. And let's face it, for them, it's not even easy, right? Because they have to have huge team operationally and all of that. But with this sort of reduces that barrier for a small developer. Now at least I can try out new markets using that. But and now bringing Tpay into the fold, I think the very exciting part, which again relies on the dynamics of the region, right? We talk about the underbanked, but let's talk about the youth. Like, these are your next set of players coming to the market. These are the people who will not, like, I mean, Turkey, like 40% of population, and for Africa, 60% is below like 25. I mean, these are the markets. This is going to be your next set of players for your game, which you're not currently servicing, which no one knows about right now. So it's more about also developing these markets as we go along, right? Because these are the new set of gamers which are going to be coming into the gaming community in the next 6 to 12 months. And I think this is a very important point from a monetization and distribution point of view. A lot of youth they're not going to have a bank account, or they, like, I mean, so the operators and Tpay monetization really helps you go into these markets and, like, make a success and name for yourself.
Yeah. So create once, publish everywhere.
Yeah, and
Great
super
freedom.
easy.
Congratulations. I'm very happy that you also chose DGC to announce this. I know both of you met last year at the conference. And,
Exactly.
and Rehman, I need to share with you something. In the evening, we were with Sahar at the dinner, and she looked at me and she said, "This is it. This is it." You know, this is
Yeah,
it.
it's true.
Yeah, she told me, "This is it, Habib. You know, if this works, it solves all the problem of the region, of the developers, of all of this." And I'm very. And then a few months later, I met with you, Rahman, in Dubai here, and you also presented the project, and we discussed. And now with Onur also and Payguru integrated. I mean, this is the kind of news that we really want to hear, the kind of results that we really want to see. And I believe with such partnerships, and from the work Sahar started to do since 5-6 years ago, to open the non credit card possible markets to so many games and apps. The same with Onur for all these years, bringing all these publishers, and Turkey is not an easy market, really. I mean, it's tough, it's big, it's not easy, and you really it's not really granted. And from the other end, Unity, that has been already doing everything for the developers, from facilitating for them to be creative, for them to have the engine, for them to be able to expand their creativity. But then again, of course, I am creative, but I still need to live off this creativity. So I'm going to relax you, you're going to continue on being creative, and I'm going to open the markets for you. And it's easy. You're already using my engine, you're already using my assets, you already are part of our culture. Let's just expand and let you also benefit from it on the global scale. So it's
we wouldn't find each other except if we were not attending this DGC. So year after year. So it's only because you brought us together. We saw the opportunity, and it happened in less than a year. So whatever plans were there could have been continuing, and it would be launched without having a place for Middle East and Africa to be part of it, in a way or another. So this is what we're really excited, and this is why we care about being part of DGC over and over, because we do create things because we meet and listen and hear and understand, and just bridging. We want to bridge more and more of possibilities and potential of this region that is completely underserved in all manners, in a way.
And I hope that, and of course, I hope that we will be able to meet physically very soon. Otherwise, that 2 or 3 more squares would be added by next year, and we would have one more partner, one more partner. Thomas, I will let you maybe close this session. We have already passed our time, but it's such exciting news that we just asked the other panel to wait a little bit, although we are live.
Well, yeah, just wanted to say thank you very much, and thank you for choosing us to make this announcement. And again, I trust that you are on the B2B meeting platform, and I expect to see that there'll be a lot of developers interested in talking to everyone on it.
Yeah, and I would like to announce the rest of the program related to this news, is that we will have 2 other sessions that will be conducted tomorrow and after tomorrow. One is more on the monetization and integration of the platform, and the other one is more on the technicalities when you are a developer as well. So it's in the program. You just have to tune in and come on, start requesting meetings. Exactly. Thank you very much. Thank you for choosing us, and we wish you all the best. And thank you for doing what you're doing, really.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Really, really excited. Thank you.
Thank you.